Let me introduce Varun. He's a co-founder of Tijori Finance along with Tejas and Siddharth. So these three guys has co-founded Tijori Finance, and it's a great platform. So I have got numerous requests from people so as to invite Team Tijori, and today we have Varun with us. So welcome, Varun.
Thank you.
So Varun, the first question I ask to every guest is like how it started for you. I mean, you're investing and all.
I think you broke off there. Sorry.
Uh, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Varun, as far as investing journey is concerned, how it started for you? I mean, when did you start and how you
Yeah, yeah,
developed
yeah,
passion
yeah,
for it?
yeah. I think for three of us, it started at the same time. It was during college, and we were more into the long-term fundamental type investing. And we were, if you do research on companies, we ended up collecting a lot of data and Excel sheets. And if you study not just one company, you end up collecting data about their competitors as well, business data, operational data and stuff. And then you end up having like 10, 15 Excel sheets just while doing research for one company. And that's how we started, in that Excel mess during college.
Okay, great, great. So when did it happen? Which year? Varun?
It was around 2008 or 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
great,
maybe
great.
8, 9 time. Yeah. Not the
Okay, great,
best
great.
time, but yeah, it started then.
Okay, great. So, if you also want to tell us about Tejas and Siddharth, like what all you guys, the responsibilities which you take at Team Tijori.
Yes, sure. So basically, three of us know each other since school. I mean, even before school. Three of us grew up in Bangalore, ended up going to the same school, and more or less, Siddharth and me went even to the same college. I mean, since forever, we've been very good friends. And as with regards to Tijori, we don't have actually any fixed responsibility because we started just three of us and then you end up doing everything. And even now it's like that, whatever task is there to do, and we just kind of delegate it on the spot. That understanding is there that I'm doing this, you're doing that. But if you ask me what exactly do you do and what does Siddharth and what does Tejas do, there's no fixed demarcation like that. It's more informal between us because we know each other since so long.
That's great. So, Varun, apart from the Excel mess you just explained, what was the trigger point so as to, build this platform? Because we have numerous other screeners available in the market. So, what makes
Yeah.
Tijori Finance
Yeah.
different and special?
So, I mean, the trigger was the whole Excel mess because we were like, we can't be the only investors out there who want business and operational data. I mean, there must be many people who need it. And not just that, we ended up doing a lot of work, repeated work. So, we were like, there must be some way to systemize this. We shared what we thought with some people, and we attended many value picker meets in here in Bangalore. And then it sort of happened organically where we were like, people focus on financial data not because it's more important, but that's what's more easily available. So if we make business data more easily available, then people will end up valuing that as well, as much as they value what is market cap of a company or what is P ratio of a company. People know that on their fingertips, but they don't know how much revenue, say, Reliance gets from oil refining and how much Tata Motors gets from JLR. We wanted to make stuff like that also on people's fingertips, and we thought it was not a problem of people's interest. It was more of what is easy to consume and what is not. So I mean, that was a kind of trigger point, but it wasn't one aha moment. It was more organic. We started with Excel. We made a very simple UI. We spoke at Value Picker. We spoke to a lot of people. I mean, not with any end aim in mind as such, but just organically we spoke to a lot of people, and it ended up snowballing, and it became what it is today.
So,
But
I mean,
sorry, I just missed one thing, which was you asking what is the key insight and all. Our thing was, we can talk about it more in a bit also. But our main thing was to structure all the unstructured data out there, like P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, and company equity stats like market cap and ratios and stuff is submitted to an exchange in a row and column, and anyone can pay some amount of money and get that data. But we wanted to bring that kind of structure to business data as well. So I mean that was the key insight. We thought that people are doing this all over the place in a distributed manner on Excel or notes or I don't know what else, and we just wanted to systemize that. That was our key insight. It was just that.
okay. So, Varun, like you talked about the feature, initially, like it's discovery and then you research and there is a tracking. I mean, so, what initially when you were in your initial phase of investing, right? So, the
Yeah.
problems maybe you were encountering in the form of, say, Excel mess or too much of data available. I
Yeah.
mean, make it trying to make it more structured so as to
Yeah.
consume it in a better way and be good with your decisions. So
Yeah.
how it evolved and how, I mean, see, there is one thing, like one is our investing process and one is we over a period of time build a network and learn from
Yeah.
various platforms. You just talked about value picker and all. So
Yeah.
how you inculcated all the good things at one place? Who inspired you in this journey, and how long it
Yeah.
took the team Tijori to reach this level?
Yeah. So we started, fully and I would say seriously and stuff on Tijori at least. I would say maybe last part of 2018 or very early 2019. So on Tijori, it's been about better half of 3.5, 4 years now where we've been doing it. And how it evolved was, what I was saying earlier is, and you were asking that how did your thought process influence the product. See, our thing was people are changing their thought process on on what data they should look at for a business based on what the tools are out there and what tools can and what data tools can give them. So it's like the tools out there are acting as a constraint on how people think about investing. Okay, what we wanted to do was see actually what information people want, what is important, and try to get that in their hands rather than, this is what's possible to get and then, try to put it down someone's throat. So that was our main thing. So if you think about, we've spoken about this before, but we think about investing basically in 4 stages: discovery, research, then transaction and tracking. So discovery is, you need to, there are, I don't know, 3,000 liquid companies in India at least. From that, you need to zero down into the 10 to 15 that, are worth researching into. And once you filter on these 10, 15, then you actually have to go open annual reports, IPs, ERs, conference calls, talk to people and stuff. And from the 15, you might zero in on the one company that you want to buy. That one company you transact on any platform, Zerodha or whatnot. And after that, it's in your portfolio or maybe it's in your watch list, and everyone tracks it, tracks the quarterly results or tracks any business movements and stuff. We notice that most people are, even if you take tips, your discovery and research is basically the person who's giving you the tip, for example. We notice everyone follows in this kind of framework, and we wanted the tool to follow the framework rather than people doing whatever, a tool allows them to do. So what that would mean is, like, for example, I said in research you need if you're researching a company like I don't know, ultramarine pigments, you would want to know, what how do from where does this company get its revenue, where are its plants, where are its capacities, who are its competitors in each segment. But if you go to any other tool, it would just give you, the financial data. What we want to do is start with, okay, you want this data, how do we systematically get you this type of data for every company? So it was more, we started more from the opposite way actually, that what do you need and how to systemize that, rather than what are we able to structure easily and then tell you this is what you need. That was our main goal.
So Varun, the data which you just talked about is very fragmented. So how you,
Yeah.
filter that data, or maybe perhaps how you collect, what are the sources and
Yeah. Yeah. So if you think about a source, like if I take a company like even, I don't know, like say Maruti also, first of all, it gives out data in ERs, it gives out IP, it gives out annual reports. It might, I don't think they'd have conference call transcripts, but hypothetically, they have conference calls. Then they give these monthly business updates where they release data through SIAM. Then there are other automobile bodies. On top of that, there is macro data. There is their supplier data. So we have these 20, 30, 40 type of accredited, what we call accredited sources for every company, which are, the exchange releases, exchange filings, industry bodies and stuff. What we have done is, and why we've taken 3 to 4 years is, we've written kind of parsing, or I would call indexing software to go read all these PDFs, scrub it, systematically standardize it, and then put it in one place. So, I mean, what that means is, for example, Tata Motors might call their products automobile and Maruti might call it four wheeler. We had to even teach our system that both of them are talking about the same thing. So if you want a competitor, Maruti tells you about Tata Motors. Then we have to teach it about the different, sources that are out there. Then we have to teach it a hierarchy. So it is a bit involved. And I mean, that's why it took us, I mean, 2.5, 3 years, and we are still nowhere near perfect. But yeah, long story short, it's more of getting your hands dirty and data crunching and parsing type software. And
right.
actually, one more thing I should say is, actually we have two products. I mean, one is our back end product and one is the Tijori that you see. Our back end product, which does all this, is way more complicated than what you see out there. Because it's like our machine in the back end, which has made the front end machine, and that back end machine is very like, I don't even know what to say. It's very extensive, and it's taken quite a bit of iterating over.
Right, Varun. So, Varun, you talked about filters, and I came across like alternate data query feature, right? So we can
Yeah.
club it with the other filters. How do we use it for our
So
benefit?
yeah. So again, I mean, same point. Like, I mean, people want to filter in a certain way, but other, regular tools don't let you do that. So what I mean, for example, is, filtering, like I want ROC greater than 20% and 3-year average ROE greater than 15% and all, is obviously very possible. And I want only small and mid cap companies. But you'd also want to say that I want these criteria, and I want only API companies, and I want companies who have exposure to, say, USA greater than 60%. Or, one of our most popular queries that people run is, pharma companies with exposure to India greater than 70%, because they don't want the regulatory risk and stuff. So, or, tell me companies which have market share more than 20% in auto ancillaries or something like that. So, to actually do this would take you so much time, if to find out companies which have market share more than 20%, or pharma companies which have exposure to India more than 80%, and then satisfy all the financial criteria. What we try to do is let you query that, and that's exactly what our query engine lets you do. Try to uh, reduce the gap between the idea you have in your head and what you can screen for. So, I mean, that is the differentiator. It screens over structured and unstructured data. So, financial data and business data.
Okay. And one more thing, Varun, like, sorry to come in between, like the source of data, right? So we can navigate to the
Yeah.
source, right? We can read it out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I can't share my screen here, but if you just go to any company, and if, if you've not signed in, you can just sign in for free also. you can go to any company you want, and below the operational metrics and below the pie charts, basically the base data is all indexed and we give you the source. And it won't just take you to a 300-page annual report. It will take you to the exact page and exact line, and that line will also be highlighted. So, you don't waste time looking for it. And but one caveat is, like say for many, we index market share data, like I told you. One company might say I have 60% market share, and one company might say I have 50% market share, and obviously it'll add up to more than 100%. But we take all exchange filings at face value. Like, we don't try to second guess the company and all. But what we do is we point you to the source. Then, kind of investors need to take the call that, which company is, being honest and which company is not. So, I mean, that just brings me to my point that one more, decision that we took was to give only data and no opinion. So, if you see on our website, I mean, it's a gray area. Like, for example, we have blogs written by people, which is obviously opinion, but we don't give out our thoughts on any company. We just give raw data for you to ingest and for you to process without any opinion on our side, and no biases of us creeping into you and stuff like that.
Right, great, great. So, Janak, in between, please feel free if you have any good question for Varun. And Varun, like I came across the market monitor feature, so would like to know more on that.
Yeah, sure. So if you go, I mean, people always say that there's a bull market happening somewhere or the other in the market, right? So if you go and look at a regular NSE indices, then it'll give you public bank, private bank, and I don't know, many other sector indices, and maybe a PSU index and stuff. But what we've tried to do is, because we have granular information, we segment the market very, very minutely. So what that means is, we have even a city gas index, or a aviation index, or a aquaculture index. So on a 3 month, 6 month basis, you would know that, okay, the city gas index has done well, which means the city gas companies have done well. It's kind of just like a discovery mechanism for you to know, which part of the market is really moving and which part is not. So yeah, it's just that it's just a very granular way to look at what's happening in the market. So, I mean, and you can check it out. You can just go to the market monitor page, and we have like nearly 60 to 70 indices that we have made, um, based on the exposure that companies have to a particular subsector. And yeah, hopefully it'll be useful. So, I mean, just someone was telling me the other day that the city gas index has gone up by more than 20% CAGR over the last 5 years, for example. So it's just kind of a discovery mechanism.
Right, Varun. So, Varun, you talked about indexes, right? So, basically, those are customized from Tijori's end, or the user can also himself or herself customize as per
Yeah,
their
yeah,
need.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So right now it's done by us, but of course we have done it, so our thought process is being, imposed on the user. So but right now the user can't, like, you couldn't make your own index, but that is work in progress. So we are working on a customization layer above Tijori, which will help you customize anything. Because, for example, even the P&L statement is kind of our view of how a P&L statement should look imposed upon you, and you might want to look at it in some other way. So we're going to let you customize a lot of things, including indices and the financial statements and stuff like that, because we don't want our biases creeping on you.
So, Janak, you have any question in between?
Yes, yes. So hi Varun. Varun, basically, I always had this query around getting started with Tijori, though yes, the
Okay.
platform is top notch and everything, but just something that you would like to guide the users as soon as you land on the platform, it can get a bit overwhelming seeing so many screens and so many
Yeah,
headings around. So if
yeah,
I have to
yeah, yeah.
go starting with for a simple query, if I want to filter out certain stocks which are in momentum, or certain stocks belonging to a particular category, or say
Yeah.
certain stocks that might be impacted by falling crude prices. how would you
Yeah.
suggest the starting point should be in using the
Yeah.
platform?
So two things. One is how I recommend you start on Tijori, and second is how I recommend you start writing your own queries on Tijori. Okay. So I'll come
Mm-hmm.
to the second part first. How you can start, using our filter is actually, I don't know if you guys know, because we released it only a couple of days back and we didn't end up talking about it to anyone. Is in the filters now. Earlier you had to type, market cap greater than sign 500 and stuff. We've added a drop down version, like it's a basic filter. So I recommend first you start with that. You just go to filters. I mean, you sign in first for free. You go to filters. You'll see on the left many drop down options on market share or industry and stuff. And you just start picking those. Like, say, I want pharma companies, high ROCE, and exposure to USA in a drop down way. No need to type anything, just clicks. I mean, similar to like an e commerce website or something. And then you'll get a feel for what all is possible for you to do. Then you can graduate to writing more advanced queries, like with 8, 10 lines and all that. So that's how I recommend you start filtering. First, just use the basic filter, which we released only a couple of days back actually, where you can just use it in a drop down fashion. Okay. And now the second question is how I recommend you start using Tijori, like not just filters, is just sign up for free and just add your own watch list. So we give you one watch list which is also for free, and you can add up to 50 companies. Once you add that, your timeline, everything will get populated. I'm not sure how many people have used timeline. Janak, are you familiar with the timeline?
Yes, Varun. Yes, I have been using it and find it quite useful actually.
Yeah, so you just add your companies in your watch list, and timeline is like a Twitter feed where the companies are the people you follow, kind of thing. So we just give you a lot of business data or business movements about a company. So it's not just oh, you followed I don't know, Blue Dart, or you followed Avanti feeds, and we've given you its exchange filings. We even tell you volumes of shrimp sold by Avanti feeds and how much it made per kg shrimp every time we get that data, and we get that data from the IPs. So it's like a lot of, and also some people on Twitter might be talking about the company, something might have happened, all that kind of stuff. We put it in one place and really clean it, scrub it, remove all the noise, remove all the sensationalized stuff and all, and we just give you one clean place where you can track all your companies. From there, I recommend you start branching out slowly and trying to use everything, because I understand, I mean, we should have done a better job, but it's not, it can be a bit overwhelming the first time you come onto the jury. So that's what I recommend for filters, is use the basic filter first, and as a usage pattern, just sign in for free the first time and use the, and just add companies to your watch list, whichever ones you're interested in, and start using the timeline. Just start seeing it once or twice a day, and you'll get a feel for what all is available.
Thanks, Varun. That is really helpful, and for our viewers also who are just using Tijori. And in fact, one of the key things that stands out, Varun, maybe you can add also. We can use this feature for free as well. We can try it on a selected set of companies in the watch list.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So one watch list is free, and I mean, you can add 50 companies or 30. I mean, don't hold me to that, even I have forgotten. But enough companies, and you can just get a feel of it, and just get used to it, because suddenly you'll see a lot of data coming to you, but then you'll realize that we're actually scrubbing out a lot, and just trying to give you the most important things. So yeah,
Got it.
that's what I recommend.
Got it. Thanks, Varun. Yes, Prince.
So Varun, like Jason from attendees is asking any app for Tijori Finance, or it's a web application only?
Yeah, this is the second most what do you call requested thing after download to Excel feature. App, we're actually in the process of building out first an Android app, and but yeah, that is still a couple of months away, and then we will move to iOS. Meanwhile, we are trying to make our web app also more user friendly. So hopefully you should see some improvements there. So I mean, basically the website on your phone. Hopefully you'll see more improvements there as well. But yes, app is coming soon. Android first, iOS next.
Right. So guys, I have pinned one tweet. So in case if you have any questions or any suggestions, so please feel free. We have one request. Let me take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Okay. The guy dropped. Anyway, so Varun, like the graphical represent. Oh, we have him. Burbak, you can unmute and ask.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yes,
audible.
Yeah, sorry, couple of lead question from.
you are
Sorry, is it
breaking.
just me or you're breaking up?
Yeah, he is breaking up. Try speaking now. And meanwhile, Varun, please try to mute your, mic so that.
Yeah.
Burbak, you. Okay, he got dropped. Never mind. So, Varun, like the graphical representation of market shares, source of revenue, geographies, operational metrics.
Yeah.
So, would you like to touch upon that?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, when we started, I mean, when I was saying we were in that Excel mess, two things that we always needed to do, and we realized is one is like say you're comparing, I don't know, company A to company B, or say Avanti Feeds to Apex Foods, and you want to compare their say quarterly sales volume of their shrimp. I mean, first you have to go to one place, one company's filings and other company's filings put in one place. What we've done is make that as comparable as you compare two price charts, for example. So you can just go to the operational metrics and compare them in a graphical way. Similarly, like if you want to compare businesses of companies also, we let you do under the benchmarking module where it's not just you can compare financial data of two companies, but if you're comparing Bandhan Bank versus Kotak Bank versus HDFC Bank versus I don't know CUB, then you can figure out how much each bank has exposure to the retail segment, corporate segment, MSME segment, and fee income and stuff like that. Just graphically, one company's pie chart next to the other. Instead of otherwise, imagine trying to figure out the business differences between all these companies. So, I mean, that's what we have focused on, making a lot of the information graphical so you can quickly get an idea, in a few seconds rather than take an hour for it or something. I mean, I wish I could show you on a screen, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll try to get one session with screen also sometime down the line, and I would request Janak for that. So, Varun, my next question would be on macro indicators. Like, what do we have for traders, like who are into? And is there any lag of information available on Tijori, and say if some news or something is coming in the public domain? So, is there any time lag, or directly we can access the same information over Tijori at that point in time?
So it depends on what it is. If it's a exchange filing or something that the company has submitted to the exchange, then we are real time. If it is price data, then we have a 15-minute delay. And then, like I said, because we index like so many sources, then it starts depending on source by source. So it can be a 2 hour lag to a 2 day lag or a 3 day lag also. But giving one number for that is not easy. But yeah, it depends on the source. But if they file something with the exchanges and stuff, then we are at real time. And if it's price related data, then we are 15-minute delayed.
I also like to talk about macro indicators and how you present them in a more granular form.
Yeah. So one thing that we've done with the macro data is, of course, we have all this current account deficit and stuff like that. But what we realize is it's not very actionable. Like unless it's 6 standard deviations away from normal, that type of data is not actionable. So what we have done in macro is we focus on more actionable data. So for example, one of our macro indicators is pharma domestic pharma sales, and in domestic pharma sales we show it even company by company, or for example domestic FMCG volume growth, or domestic I don't know, two wheeler sales or passenger vehicle sales or life insurance premiums. Basically it's more related to the economy rather than very high level abstract macro indicators which you usually get. Ours is more granular because we want it to be as actionable as possible. And yeah, I don't think anyone kind of compiles that type of granular or that type of macro data anywhere. So yeah, it's definitely useful for me. So yeah, I'm sure it's useful.
Great, thanks. So Budbak is back again. So you can unmute and ask your question. And do you have any question or okay? So is there any way to identify red flags, Varun, specifically, or it's up to the user's judgment by seeing the data? One has to infer whether this falls in the category of red flag or not.
So right now there is no way. We have one quick look section, but it's not great. But actually, what we will be releasing in I think next week or maximum 10-15 days is we have kind of there are a lot of these accounting shenanigans, what people call which companies run, like are your receivables rising faster than sales, or are you using depreciation accounting to inflate profits, or is capex the reason that your ROC is depressed, and kind of stuff like that, that we are structuring, and that we will release in in a couple of weeks or so, where these accounting red flags for sure. There is another higher level red flag which is corporate governance and management red flags, that we are finding hard to structure because there's just too much opinion based on that. And like I was saying, we don't want to project our opinion on people. So uh, yeah, so accounting red flags, yes, coming soon. Corporate governance type red flags, very hard to do, and we haven't found a way to do it.
Right, fair enough. So, Varun, one question is from Kumar Swab. He's asking, like, if you have any plan to launch text search feature in con calls and annual reports, and even
Yeah.
like such kind of products are available, but the guy shut down due to revenue issues. So you can also look for a collaboration. This is more of
No,
a
no,
question come
we spoke.
suggestion.
We no. I mean, we spoke to him. I think you're talking about Fin Search. He's live again, by the way. I think it's a great. It's he's done a great job, and it's you can use it again. So I mean, just for everyone's benefit, I think he's live again. As for us, yes, we want to do it. We just haven't found the time to prioritize it. Like we are focusing on app and kind of enhancing our portfolio. I don't think we spoke about it, but we have a portfolio tracker where you can put your and your family's portfolio and stuff. We are kind of prioritizing these two, three things, and we'll get to that next, because for us doing that is very easy because we do it anyway while indexing all this business information. So we just have to make a front end for it. We just haven't got the time to prioritize it. But yeah, will do.
Right, Varun. So, Varun, one question is from Bodbak. He wrote in comments. So, he's asking, can
Yeah.
you throw more light on company and sector research?
Yeah, so like I was saying, the data in Tijori is organized in these three layers. There are companies, and companies sit inside a sector, and sector sits inside the economy, obviously. So, economy data is our macro data, where we show kind of different indicators that you would expect. Like we show India level tractor sales and India level pharma and FMCG volume growth, and India level, I don't know, insurance premiums that are happening. So you can quickly get a sense of what's happening. Inside the economy are the sectors. Now we also index a lot of sector data. Like, I was saying earlier that the sources we look at are also industry bodies and stuff. So if you want to, if you're tracking HDFC Bank, for example, or City Union Bank, then you also want to know what is happening in the banking sector. Like City Union Bank saying I have grown my advances 15% means nothing if the banking sector is growing at 20%, right? Because they're losing market share then. So we also track about the data from maybe 20 to 30 sectors. Like for textiles, we track Utexa data and Textile Association of India data. And for automobiles, we track SIAM and Vahan and two, three other databases. Then, I mean, I've lost track, but pharma, I know we take data from AIOCD and stuff. Uh, and many, steel and all, we actually go look at minutes of the meetings of Ministry of Steel and Ministry of Power and index data from those type of PDFs. So yeah, we take all this data from all these different sources and try to fit them into either macro or sector or company. So that's kind of how it's structured. You can just imagine, like, all our crawlers are going all over the place, getting data from all these sources, scrubbing it, cleaning it, standardizing it, making it comparable, and then slotting it in the correct place, either at the company level, sector level, or macro level.
So Varun, I mean, this is more like question. I mean, is there any way to find out the cyclicality element in the business broadly, not if specifically? I mean, can we do this over Tijori?
Um, I mean, there's honestly no, because there's nothing you can do here which you can't just do anywhere else to figure out cyclicality. Like literally look at the sales and see if it's going in cycles and stuff like that. But I would say no. To see cyclicality, I can't think of anything top of my head which would help, which Tijori would help you more than any other place.
Okay. So please do ponder over it if there is any, I mean, workability on this. So
No,
take
I
it as
mean we
a
are open.
question.
If you or listeners can tell us a way that it can be tracked systematically and stuff, then I mean we are super open. We'll just add it. I mean if it makes sense and stuff, because that kind of stuff is very useful for investors. So
Varun, in fact, one hack that came to the mind, though it is not a direct hack, but just for instance, certain chemicals. So there are certain raw material prices that are there available on Tijori. Can we use
yeah.
them? So if certain raw material prices are going down, or maybe that can be an indicator for us that this company or this supplier or this buyer of this customer may be under pressure or may do well. So how can we go about using that, Varun? That is some really interesting feature. But if you can just share with us the best practice to go about it.
So actually, the way I use it is I literally, I mean, two ways. One is, like I said, add companies to your watch list, and anytime the raw materials of the companies, if their prices go up down by more than 10%, we literally send you an alert. That's one. Step two is I go to the raw material screen and see the 1 month, 3 month, 6 month gain and the drop from the 52-week high. And then that okay, some chemicals have fallen by more than 40-50% from 52-week high, and stuff like that. But I mean I'll just give you one caveat that like it's not as simple as checking that, because the correlation between just the raw material price and the what you call and the impact on the company is not very straightforward. Like we've tried a lot of statistical stuff where you try to correlate and not just correlate, like find factors and things like that. But I would say it's not as easy as it looks to figure out correlation between raw material price and company performance. Other than obvious ones like Deepak Nitrite, phenol price. I mean, all that is very obvious. But figuring out for the regular company, like a pipe company, if PVC prices go up down, unless the prices are very wild, wild swings, for you to figure out what is going to happen in the next quarter is, I would say, a bit difficult.
Got it, Varun. But it can be a starting point to the thesis.
Yeah,
Maybe we
yeah,
can
yeah,
discuss.
yeah. So as a starting point, I use it in these two ways, and I'm also very open to suggestions of how we can make it more useful for you. Like how we use it now is if it moves more than X%, then we alert you, and also we've put it all in one place, so anyone can just go and check what is the 1 week, 1 month change in hundreds of raw materials, and we also put over there who makes and who uses it. Like I don't know if you've seen our raw material screen, but we literally we tell you right then and there who makes that raw material and who uses it. Like I'm on the screen now and I can see that nylon 66 price has gone down by 25% in the last 1 month, and the people who make it are given there, and the people who use it also are given there. So I mean, that's how we've done it till now. But yeah, we are open to any suggestions. I mean, to make it useful for everyone.
Right. So, guys, in case you are facing any issues while your research or maybe any process while screening the stocks, so that you can share with Varun and team, so that because as he explained previously, these guys were facing issues with the too many Excel data and all. So this led to creation of a great platform. So likewise. If you give your suggestions, so that would be really helpful for each one of us. So Varun, like one thing I wanted to ask, like the supply which is coming, supply in the coming years, maybe seeing the volume of capex in the sector, and so that is readily accessible, right?
For some sectors, yes. For some sectors, no. Like for steel and all, yes. But for some sectors, no. What we are working on now is in the sector screen to add a lot of more financial data, and there we will aggregate the capex of all the companies in the sector screen. So, I mean, that is coming, but that is also again work in progress. But then again, I mean, it's a bit tricky because supply in, say, I don't know, chemical sector doesn't really mean much. You need product wise, and then for product wise, many companies are might or might not reveal even their their capex. So that way, it's a bit hard. But for sectors like steel and all, is very straightforward, and that is already available because there it's
Right.
less heterogeneous.
So one last opportunity, Budbak, you can unmute and try to speak.
Hi guys. Sorry, I had a network issue before. So I think one of the question is just answered where I wanted to know how can one figure out the supply side economics of a sector or a specific company where a company operates in. So this I think is already answered. Hi guys,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah, Burbag, yeah. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
tried.
And the second thing is, I think when it comes to cyclical businesses and all, if we can broadband certain things like, like the margins or the capacity utilization, sector wise, industry wise, and things like that, that might also help, somewhere figuring out, where the sector or the industry is going through, which phase it might be, and is it worth digging in more there?
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, for steel, for example, you're saying map the EBITDA per ton at a sector level and then show the cyclicality of the graph or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And like even in the construction industry or the ones we make tiles or
Yeah.
for the MDF
Yeah.
industry, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this we want to do, and I think this will get it done. Basically, a lot of aggregate data at the sector level. Yeah, definitely, we will get it done because it's very useful, to quickly understand what is going on.
Yeah, one last thing, and also I was checking the Tijori Finance on YouTube. There are a couple of videos, one with SOIC, one with scientific investing and all. But there's, if I could request, if you guys can update something on YouTube periodically with new features, especially if possible with a given example, that helps someone how to take a
Okay.
lead from something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this we really need to, do a better job. Like I was saying, we released this new filter thing and we've just forgotten to tell anyone. Um,
And Varun,
what
like Janak
what
could be
we've
the
done
best person.
is, Sorry.
Janak could be the best person to guide you on the YouTube thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've done with Janak as well a demo. I think about the timeline. I don't remember fully, but yeah, timeline.
Something like a 3 minute or a 5 minute video for a specific feature with an example, I think might really help for me, because I was personally, I
Yeah.
take clues and indicators from small things like this, and then sit around and work more on that.
Yeah, for sure. So Janak and actually and everyone, we released a change log, okay, which I think will be useful. So on the top right of Tijori, if you click on your name icon or whatever, and you just go a bit down, there's a what's new. Okay, it's literally tijorifinance.com/what's dash new. Uh, that it we basically update that pretty methodically with every feature update we make, and over there it gives an example of how you can use things. I don't know whether I can put a link anywhere on this chat, or not sure how this works, but I'll definitely share it with Janak and Prince, and hopefully it'll be useful for everyone. But to your point that we need to update our YouTube and do a better job at you know kind of informing people of what we're building. Yeah, that's well taken.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. A few more questions from my end, and if we have any more questions from the attendees, so surely we'll take that. So, question is on portfolio building and tracking, and would you, I mean, try to explain the feature, how we can benefit from that feature, and family
Yeah.
portfolio also we can add, right?
Yeah, so two things. One is we've noticed that most of our users are, either the advanced or the intermediate type investors, where they don't just track their portfolio, but maybe their spouse, or they've started investing for their kids or their parents and whatnot. So for that, we let you add up to 5 or 4 portfolios in the portfolio module. That's one. And the second is in the portfolio module, when you add even one, it's not just about the P&L or the gain loss table of your portfolio. We even let you do many things like, sorry, check your IRR, or at a portfolio level, what is your exposure to India, or at a portfolio level, what is your exposure to the US. How is your portfolio, equity portfolio, compared to how is it performing compared to similar mutual funds. Because we are only letting you add equity portfolio right now, not, I mean, direct equity, not even ETF mutual funds. All that is, like I was saying, we are focusing on portfolio now. That's work in progress. So, yeah, we let you check its actual end exposure across many dimensions, the performance across many dimensions like IRR. What if you if you are a small or mid cap, heavy portfolio, then what if you had invested in the Nifty small cap index? What would the market value of your indices have been today in case you bought and sold every time you bought and sold into your portfolio and stuff like that. So it's again unstructured data which is important about your portfolio, but not quite easily available. That's what we've tried to make available for everyone.
Like Varun, so there is, I mean, an alert feature. Would love to know more on that, and the most popular reverse DCF. Would request you to explain these two features to our attendees. Those who are not
I
aware, they
didn't,
will
I
benefit.
didn't, I didn't get the first one you said, Prince. What was it? You said reverse DCF and?
The
Alert.
alert feature.
Oh, alert. Okay, yeah. So I'll start reverse DCF, and I mean reverse DCF. I mean, if I guess many people are like me, where you don't do that many DCFs, you might not find it very useful. But reverse DCF is definitely very useful, because what it basically does is tell you, okay, how much optimism is baked into the price of a company. So, I mean, what that means is it tells you, okay, give me your target IRR from an investment, okay, and tell me how many years out you want to wait, 10, 20, 30, And based on that, what a reverse DCF will do for you is tell you that, okay, if you want to make X% from your investment, then this company needs to grow its earnings by 20% for the next 10 years, or 25% for the next 10 years. So it breaks it down like that. So let me just give you an example. I'm opening up the Tijori on my screen. Just one sec. So I look at, a popular company like Asian Paints. Supposing you want to make, say, 18% from your investments, if that's your hurdle rate for investments, and you buy into Asian Paints today, and say after 10 years it has a PE multiple of, say, 25, conservatively, then Asian Paints would need to grow its earnings by 30% CAGR over the next 10 years for you to make even an 18% return on your investment. If the exit multiple is 25, if you're being a little more less conservative and being like, okay, my exit multiple will be 35 also, it needs to grow its earnings by 25%. So it needs to go up 10 times in 10 years over the next 10 years for you to earn an 18% return on your capital. Okay. And so basically, what it helps me do is eliminate companies very fast. Like, many people have tried to study the moat of Asian Paints and I don't know what not. I just put very conservative numbers and be like, okay, there is no way Asian Paints is going up 10 times in 10 years. If it does something like that, it means it has to make a 30,000 crore profit. HDFC Bank makes a 30,000 crore profit or 35,000 crore profit. There's no way Asian Paints is going to be as big as HDFC Bank, and I've never wasted even more than 20 minutes even trying to study that company. So, I mean, that's what reverse DCF does. It won't let you research, it won't give you a positive reason into buying into a company, but definitely it helps you not waste time into, even thinking about, breaking your head on other companies. So I know many people who have a hurdle rate of, say, 20% from your direct equity or 22% and stuff like that. So same thing, Asian Paints, if you have a 20% hurdle rate from your direct equity investments and its terminal multiple after 10 years is, say, 30, it needs to grow its earnings by 30% CAGR over the next 10 years, which means it needs to grow its earnings 13 times, which I don't think is going to happen. And it would really save you time to not even, study the company.
In fact, Varun, this reverse DCF is one of the most underrated tools that is there on Tijori. It has helped spot high valuation companies so early and so quickly. It really helps in your exit decisions too.
Yeah, exactly. So, in your portfolio also, and in your watch list, in one table, there is, you can run reverse DCF. I don't know, Janak, if you've seen that. You can run reverse DCF for all the companies in your watch list, in like one or two clicks. And then what I do is I order my company by the, ask rate of the reverse DCF. So then you can be like, okay, now based on the current price, I would need X% CAGR earnings growth over the next 10 years for this investment to make sense. And you can kind of size your bets like that. So that
Varun,
way it is very useful.
just a quick input over here, maybe not relevant right now, or maybe sometime later or something. But for all the inputs that are there on reverse DCF, can we just put a quick marker about what is the risk-free rate that is being expected, what multiples need to be put? So there will be more acceptance to this feature, because it is one of the
I
features that
mean,
really
I didn't
has.
understand, Janak. I didn't understand.
So,
Sorry.
so, so there are three, four inputs that need to be given in reverse DCF, including what your exit multiple is,
Yes.
what is the risk-free rate that you expect to make if you were to
Yeah.
invest in, say, index fund, or maybe say 10%, 12% that we put
Okay.
in a normal environment. So,
Prompts. Yeah.
if we can help users put those parameters better basis his comfort, maybe
Hmm.
then there might be start more aggressive use of it. Just
Yeah,
a thought
yeah,
that came run of the mill.
yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. Uh, yeah, we need to do this. Basically, some guide rails on how to even use it. I think we did one video with Ishmoth and we've put that there. But yeah, we'll try to prompt, some values over there. I get your point, Jan.
Okay, thanks, Varun.
So one attendee is asking on iOS app. I think that has been answered previously as well. So initially there would be Android app, and after that, I guess iOS app they'll be working on. Right, right, Varun?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
yeah,
Varun, we are left with the alert feature. I
yeah.
mean,
So yeah, yeah. So alerts, I mean, ours is pretty. I wouldn't say that. Oh, it's a very differentiated alert system. We just let you create, price alerts on your companies. One differentiator is that you can say that alert me not only when I don't know Nika goes below 100 or whatever, but for example, we you can set an alert like tell me when Loris's EV by EBITDA goes below, I don't know, I'm just making up now, 15. Or tell me when Clean Sciences EV by EBITDA goes below 25. So not just price-based alerts, but even a lot of indicator-based alerts. Like you can see all the indicators over there. It's EMA, DMA, price to book, EV by EBITDA, PE. You can get alerted when it PE goes below or above something. Volumes and a few things like RSI and ADX as well is there. So, I mean, I won't say it's very differentiated or, it's very path breaking, but we just made it very simple to use. And you can make alerts quickly. You can track it in one place and you can set alerts on parameters other than just price and PE. You can even set it on price to book for banks or EV by EBITDA for other companies or whatnot.
great, great, Varun. And guys, like no sort of promotion, but again, previously, initially, when the price, I myself felt on the higher side, but again, that has been considered by the team Tijori, and there are very affordable plans. So, if you wish to have a look, you can start with a free feature, and if that echoes with your requirements, then you take your decision accordingly. So thank you, Varun. Any other feature or maybe anything which we missed asking you if you would like to explain or anything on your part?
No, I mean, I can just tell you what we are working on now for maybe 20 seconds. One is we are on the portfolio. I told you we have a portfolio tracker. We are working on ingesting mutual funds and ETFs soon. And of course, analysis on those ETFs and mutual funds. So, if there's a lot of overlap or very high correlation between, any holdings and stuff like that. That's on the portfolio side. We are also working on a lot more alerts on our timeline, which once you use, you'll know. Like we are hoping to get a lot more raw material prices and a lot more companies mapped to those raw materials. And like I said, the app, Android app first, and yeah, iOS next. And of course, a lot of small things which we need to start talking more about. But yeah.
So Varun, a small suggestion like you did video with the SOIC, Kumar Saurabh, Scientific Investing, and many others. So in case you bring new features or anything which should be brought to the notice, feel free to share with us. We'll share in our circles as well. Yeah, Janak,
Yeah,
you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, Varun, I guess we have a platform for US stocks too, right? So I believe there will be a lot
yeah,
of
oh,
curiosity around
yeah.
US investing.
I forgot to talk about that. I mean, we also forgot. I also forgot to talk about it because we've not done a very good job on that. We basically didn't prioritize it. But we're speaking to Morningstar and stuff to start getting in financial data. Structured data at least. We have indexed like if I would say if I've indexed X data for Indian companies, we've indexed like say 100X for the US ones. um, we just decided to prioritize India first. Uh, that US was more like an internal proof of concept that yes, our system works on even other countries and we won't be limited to India. It was more for our personal, tick a box kind of thing that yes, our system works. But yeah, we need to prioritize it because we have immense amounts of data of US companies, like very, very granular data. Like for Exxon, what is the cost of production from every oil field type data we have, which we just need to get out there.
So yeah, Varun, in general, the sense that I get now, so you're speaking to the investors, subscribers, and viewers, there is a rise in some amount of discussions and queries that are happening around US. Maybe that can be a lead indicator for us.
Yeah.
Of course, subject to your bandwidth and availability. But yeah, this is something which me, along with all the viewers, will be really excited and keen on.
Yes, yes, for sure. I mean, it makes sense for us also because I mean, we did it as a proof of concept that do our backend systems work on 10Ks, 10Qs and stuff. It's pretty robust, and we just need to get out there because even for us, the number of people who are interested in the US, I mean, not just Indians, but globally are way more. So we need to get it done.
Got it, Varun. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janak. So, guys, few announcements uh, we have two upcoming spaces over this weekend. This Saturday, we are hosting Rohit Chauhan, sir, and Sunday we'll be hosting Gautam Bath. So those who are attending and have interest listening to their insight, please feel free to join on Saturday and Sunday. The timing would be 8 p.m. And again, I have pinned one tweet from Kumar Saurabh. So basically, he is organizing a SI Super session on asset management companies. So the amount would go for charity. So that's why I'm announcing, right? So those who have any sort of interest in understanding so many companies, asset management companies, feel free to do that because that's a novel cause. That's why I'm asking. So yeah, that was the limited, announcement. So Varun, thank you so much. Any concluding remarks from your end or any inputs to our audiences?
No, no. I mean, just thanks. I mean, you all. It was quite late, 8:30, and you all took the time. And yeah, for sure, attend all of Saurabh and Janak's and Prince's stuff. Saurabh webinars and all have helped a lot, so should be useful.
Yeah, thanks, Varun. So, guys, feel free to check our handles and Varun's handle as well. So, you'll find the updates over his handle. Whatever the guys will be updating on Tijori Finance will be updated. And if you feel like our spaces are helping you anytime, so please feel free to follow us so that our upcoming spaces and feeds can reach to you and you can benefit from our sessions. And let me reiterate once again, our sessions are purely educational, no sort of commercials with any of the guests. So that is one thing I want to stress upon. So feel free to write your suggestions by tagging us. Surely the considerable one will be taken care of. And problems are like what we face. We have to find solution for those things, and that is basically the baseline where Tijori Finance has been created by the wonderful co-founders Tejas, Varun, and Siddharth. Yeah. So, Varun, thanks for your time. We already crossed 1 hour, and again, so much of insightful session. And
Yes, yes.
I myself got to learn about the futures you just explained. And thank you so much, and good luck to your team. May you keep on adding value like this in future as well. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the time, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Janak, for co-hosting. Anything you want to say, Janak?
No, no. Thanks, Varun. Thanks, Prince, for taking out time. Love the discussion. I'll see you around.
Okay. Good night, guys. And if you are liking our work, please do write to us. Thank you. Good night.